Hey, what's up, you guys? John
and Kat
here from Hitched to Reality. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing Season 6, Episode 4. How about that?
How about that?
Of 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way.
Let's
crack into it.
Okay, so we started off with Josh and Lily. We see his arrival to her home.
Which, holy shit.
Holy guacamole. We get kind of the MTV Cribs tour. We see the elevator and the elevator music.
Which is awesome. It's a very nice touch that if you're going to have an elevator in your house, have elevator music.
I was wondering what you would think about that, because I was wondering if you would want like elevator music but like subvert expectations and play like something kind of hardcore.
No.
No, you would want
I would want
smooth jazz. Elevator music.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But it was interesting though that it looked like it was a 3-story house, because they showed the kitchen, which was in a weird little shut-off room.
I do think that I was wondering if that was like maybe one of the kitchens.
Well, she did say that this is your kitchen.
Right.
So maybe that's the man kitchen.
Yeah, she showed him like, this is the fridge I bought you because it makes ice. And I do know that in some countries ice is like kind of a luxury item, not just like a staple that everybody has all the time.
Staple. So then they go upstairs to their bedroom. And then it looks like there's more stairs that go other places. But that's like all we saw. We didn't get like the whole...
We didn't get the whole home tour.
But it looked very fancy.
Yeah, right. Very like white and bright and wide. I kind of wanted to see, well, I mean, hopefully we will, but like in that kind of like luxe like lifestyle. And we're kind of like outdoor people. I was wondering about like what the yard is like if in China do they even have, like, is that in a building? I was just sort of wondering what the surroundings
it looked almost like a townhouse, but it looked detached to me.
Yeah.
But it did look like there was no front yard. Maybe there was like a small backyard.
Yeah, so I was wondering, like, is there a pool or like a water feature? Like, I just sort of, well, I don't know. Hopefully we'll see more, but...
That is an interesting thought, like, what do yards look like in China versus the U.S.?
Yeah, and it's not totally clear to me, because I know she doesn't live in, like, rural China. That was very obvious, but, like, how urban is that area? So, I want to see. I'm excited to see more.
See the sights.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's already problems.
There are already problems, but I was going to throw them the bone of, like, right as soon as he arrived, it was like, thank you so much for the flowers. They're so beautiful. I like your hair bow. I like your beard. Mm-hmm. It seemed like because some of these interactions that you see, like, even right off the plane, remember? She who goes against the queen will die.
Yeah, Colty and Larissa.
Yeah, so as soon as she stepped off the plane,
Where's my flowers?
Yeah, exactly.
But then also they walked by a vending machine of flowers and he was like, no, I'm not buying you flowers. Like, that's...
Right.
What are you even doing?
So, like, from moment one.
Yeah.
And then remember they went to go see, like, the Vegas sign and she was like, it's hot, it's dusty, I hate it, let's move. And I was like, you've literally been here for 3 minutes.
But I mean, I agree with everything that she just said. Even though I've never been to Las Vegas, it looks dusty hot, and I don't want to move there.
Yeah, I know I don't want to move there either, but you would think that you'd be able to, like...
Stifle yourself for a few minutes.
A few minutes, especially on camera. So I appreciated their... Like, oh, I like your bow.
They seemed very sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but it didn't take long to get to some of the... Like, oh, I'm broke, I don't have any money. So.
Yeah.
And we also got a tour of the toilet, and we got the sage advice from Lily to clean your ass.
Always clean your ass. Yes. It's good advice. Good advice. Just in case anybody's out there has any questions, always clean your ass.
Yeah, and Lily's with us. Yeah, or we're with Lily, I guess. Okay, that was that for Lily and Josh. Any other thoughts on them?
Well, we did see that even on the first day, he was getting tired of how often she brought up money.
Yeah.
And it's clear that that's both an insecurity for him and something of an issue for her. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay, so We move over to James and Tatha. James is getting ready to move with we're giving it big quotes, to Indonesia. His friend comes to pick up the dog. The dog is going to stay with the friend. He talks about how the relationship with the parents is very strained. We did not see the parents say goodbye. We actually haven't even seen the parents.
Yeah, I don't think we met the parents, so they must not have wanted to be on the show.
Like, at all, it seems like. Because I was also... I'm sure the producers do some, like, okay, well, like, let's film the telling your fam that you're leaving. Yeah. And his parents must have just been like, absolutely not.
Well, I wonder if they just don't want to be on the show at all. Because we haven't met them
at all.
At all.
Yeah.
I don't think. So they must not want to be on the show.
Right. And he said that mom cried and dad said literally nothing, so...
Which, I mean, this is the second time you're doing this sort of thing, and you're also giving your parents, who are also your employer,
less than
1 week notice that you're leaving permanently. I mean, even besides like telling your employer, to tell your parents, hey, I'm moving
to Indonesia, like not even just to Florida.
Well, but even to Florida, like that's long ways away. You're going from living in the same town and working and seeing them every day to moving almost anywhere. It's going to be like a bigger deal than just telling them a week before. Yeah. But it seems like this is a problem that they both have.
Right. Yeah.
These people, they started off...
I know, I liked them in the beginning, and now I have questions.
Questionable decisions.
Yeah, I have questions. So, let's see. Oh, and then we see the friend give him the ride to the bus station. I thought it was interesting that he couldn't even rustle himself up a ride to the airport.
But I wonder if he needs to take a bus to, like, Massachusetts or something.
Even still, if we were moving away, there are people who would drive us to the airport. Even if we weren't moving away. Like when we went on our honeymoon, we got a ride to the airport.
Well, we got a ride to the airport's like an hour and a half away. Like if he has to drive, because I don't know Maine at all.
Yeah.
He's Maine, right?
He's Maine.
So I mean he could be like way up there.
Yeah.
And so I guess maybe the closest airport's in Canada. Maybe he took, yeah, he didn't say where he was flying out of. I wonder if he went to Canada.
Yeah, we don't know, but I do...
It was interesting that he couldn't rustle a ride to the airport.
Yeah.
Even if it's a couple hours away, you don't have anybody who loves you enough to drive you to the airport.
Right, exactly. And even if it's your friend, you say, like, listen, I understand that's a big ask. I'll throw you $100 for gas money there and back and get yourself a road belly dinner. Sorry.
Road belly.
Road belly is a thing that we say.
When you just eat cheese puffs and nothing else for an 8-hour car ride. But it could also be... I mean, with this guy's history, like maybe he told his friend like the day before, hey, I need a ride to the bus station tomorrow.
Yeah, could be.
So.
But like he's got a brother has a wife, neither of them could give you a ride. I don't know.
Maybe his family doesn't like him that much.
Yeah, I had questions. Okay, and that was it. James and Tatha.
For now.
Yeah, I know. There was some... There's more. Some questionable things that are still on the way.
Muy questionable.
All right, and then we go to everybody's favorite couple, Sarper and Shekinah.
Disgusting.
So we get the morning after. She says she's still upset from last night and the bottles.
But that didn't stop her from sleeping with him.
Yeah. What did you
think it would?
Yeah.
Well, I think... Sure, so she's sending mixed messages. So it's like, how upset could you possibly be at him and still sleep with him?
Yeah, right. And with the crusty rusty bed from, was it last season? She laid down the law there and got the change that she wanted. So she does know how to impact change is to withhold sex.
Well, it's all... So she's only gone for 5 weeks at a time. So if she was gone for 6 months...
she said she was gone for 3 months. They were
separated. Maybe 3 months, yeah. All right, so she was gone for 3 months, which is a long time, for sure. But if you're really that upset, you would think that you would be able to resist his charm.
Yeah. And his charm that was not so charming, because the very next thing he does, he's like, let me prove my love for you. And he takes her over to a dirty spot on the wall. And he's like, see, look, here's proof, because I love you so much that I wasn't waxing my back so it itches. So, please wax my back.
We've been married for 7 years now. I haven't waxed my back once. That's how much I love you.
Yeah, is that proof of love?
Proof.
Where's the dirty spot on the wall that you rub your back on?
I'll show you a million dirty spots on the wall. But he's so weird.
Yeah, super weird.
And it's like so not charm. I don't understand it.
I don't either. I'm repulsed by him.
He's disgusting.
Yeah, and he launches into that whole spiel about how he gets like turned on picturing her pooping.
I don't think he said he was turned on by it. He said he wasn't disgusted by it.
Yeah, whatever. I feel like for him, he's either on or off. I don't know. It's a yuck.
I can't even verbalize the thoughts that I have.
Yeah. It's that whole there's a cheese for every cracker, but like you wonder what kind of cheese really wants to be involved with that kind of cracker.
Kind of cheese that grows on a disgusting wiener. Wiener cheese.
Wiener cheese could be a side dish at the banana chip factory.
Banana chips and wiener cheese, please.
Okay.
But it also seems like they're forcing their cheese and cracker together. It's not like something that works. Like it's clear. Like they just don't. It seems so forced, and they're just like faking it to be on TV.
Yeah, it's odd for sure.
Odd.
Oh, and then he gets into how he tracks her period on his phone.
I think he brought that up on the reunion for the other.
Have you ever heard of a man doing that?
I haven't heard of it. The thing that's creepy is that he does it without her asking. And this is also the second episode in a row that we're talking about periods. But, do you track your period?
I don't track mine. I know some women track theirs, though, so they don't get caught, at work, unprepared.
Sure. It makes sense. It makes sense
for a woman.
Or like if you ask me, because I tend to be someone who's like better
more
at
organized.
So if you ask me like, hey, can you track it? You got it.
Yeah, or if you're trying to get pregnant or actively trying not to get pregnant.
100%.
But he just seemed to do it.
Just to do it.
Yeah, it's
almost, I am willing to bet there's going to be a point in this season where they're going to be having a fight and he's going to say, oh, well, you're on your period, so clearly that's why we're fighting.
Yeah, could be. That's an interesting thought. Okay, and then we find out that he hasn't told his family about the K-1 visa.
Or that he has not even decided that he's going to go to the U.S.
Yeah, right. So there's a lot of discussion of like, well, I knew it was going to take a couple years, so I thought during that time we would sort of figure it out.
Yeah, and he was like, maybe I changed my mind, maybe she changed her mind. But again, it's like you're on the 90 Day Fiancé the other way show. Mm-hmm. And you're signing up for the K1
visa. They're just keeping their show options open.
Well, and I'm sure the producers are too, because I'm sure they eat this crap up.
Yeah, right.
Darcy and Stacey, part 2.
Except for they got canceled.
They did, but doesn't mean they won't try again.
R.I.P. Darcy and Stacey.
The show. Not Darcy and Stacey.
Yeah, that wasn't like a threat.
They're both still with us, I think.
R.I.P. the show, Darcy and Stacey.
What a train wreck.
Yeah, right. Okay, so that's, the only other thing that he talks about that makes a little bit of sense, I'll give him, is he said that he wants to make sure that he has enough money saved up because when he goes, he doesn't want to be totally financially dependent on her. Because he doesn't want to be like indebted to her. But at the same time, I also remember him saying that he does personal training, I guess, supposedly. And he said that he had to stop using all his female clients. Because
of Shekinah.
But if he'll do that for her and he won't throw away old empty alcohol bottles, to me, I could make a much stronger argument. This is my profession. I don't have any history with any of these women. If there was a woman that I had a history with, I won't train her anymore. But
he's probably
all of them, 100%. So I don't know, but I can still see
there's a legitimate argument to be made
compared to the bottles where there's really not one.
Right.
So whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, moving right along. We have got Statler and Dempsey. We get into Statler moving out of the apartment. What did you think of her saying goodbye to the fridge? Beep beep.
Seemed like something that you would do. Honestly.
It read us so.
Are you gonna miss me? Beep. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I thought that was so cute.
She is cute. Both of them are
Cute, yeah.
Yeah, and we got some insight into Statler, right? Statler's
the one
they both have like last names for first names.
Yeah.
Statler and Dempsey.
Yeah, and they both sort of sound like British names.
Statler and Dempsey.
Yeah.
Or a law firm. A law firm of Statler and Dempsey.
Yeah, that would be good.
Right.
Other than the fact that I wouldn't trust either of them to handle any legal matters for me. But they did get their financing for the van sorted. Statler took out a advance from her job.
Yeah.
So it's good that she's not going to be homeless when she lands.
Yes, that is good. Because we also didn't see where Dempsey's living right now, because she sold her
But she's
house.
got a whole support system over there. So
yeah.
Who really cares?
Yeah.
So, and I thought it was also, we both, I think, LOL'd a little bit when she said, like, nervous chuckle. She, like, subtitled herself.
Because that's something we always do, is because we're old, and so we watch TV shows with the subtitles on, and so it's always funny to see the little captions of, like, chuckles nervously, and then she says, nervous chuckle.
Right, yeah, she subtitled herself.
She did exactly what we do all the time.
Yeah.
And I guess probably other people do that too, but
yeah.
it was funny to see that.
Okay, so then we head over to Natalie's garage. Natalie, her friend.
Her friend, yeah.
Her friend is kind enough to be storing some of her stuff, and they're putting together a shelf. Okay, so Natalie does a little bit of, let's call it constructive criticism onto Dempsey.
But it's such a bad time.
Yeah, right. Her timing was not perfect.
It was awful. Like, the day before she's leaving, she's like, are you sure you want to do this? Because you know you have the... Well, we get some insight into...
Like the past relationship trauma.
And it makes sense. And I think it's a tough situation because, like, you want to be honest with your friends.
Right.
But, like, when it's the day before you're leaving...
Yeah. The ship has sailed.
Is that really helpful?
Yeah.
No.
Right, and she said, like, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, had a panic attack.
Yeah.
Like, thanks a lot, Natalie.
Right.
And Natalie's timing was also a little bit sus on she came on to the reunion. Remember, we got the flashback, and she was talking smack about Dempsey during the reunion, too. It was just a little bit like...
She basically just said, Dempsey is not special.
Yeah, she just roasted her for, like, no reason. Like, never even met her.
Maybe she's jealous.
Yeah, and I do think that Statler isn't doing Dempsey any favors of, like, talking about, like, I had to take out all the money, more than half, and, like, sort of, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot happening there.
Yeah.
But she eventually seemed to sort of work her way through it a little bit. And I think some nerves, I mean, that's a huge life change, so I think there's bound to be some nerves out of their way, although I forgot that they had only spent 3 weeks together in person.
Well, that's plenty of time. That's what all these couples do.
It's true.
Yeah. And we get the history of, and I'm not sure if we had known this previously, but Statler was adopted. Did we know that before?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I had just forgotten. And she talks about, like, the rejection issues and how she feels like the only person who should unconditionally love her just gave her away.
So she goes overboard in relationships to try to, like, win the affection and the love of the other person because she's scared of getting more of that rejection.
Like reactive attachment.
Right, which also sort of makes sense as to why she's so attached to Dempsey in the first place, where it's like, you know, one of those situations where it's like almost like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. You know, why do I always fall in love with the person who gives me the least amount of attention? So it's like almost I would, although she did say that she kind of hoed around a bit previously.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe it's not that.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? Not that there's anything wrong with that. Hoe it up. Do whatever makes you happy.
All right. So then we move back to Josh and Lily. He's playing around with her stove. He thinks that maybe the gas line is disattached, so I just wonder if he doesn't know how to use a stove in China. It doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter.
That was sort of a non-issue. And then she's like, oh no, we've got to go. We're going to go wedding dress shopping. They go and they look at the traditional Chinese wedding outfits. What did you think of those outfits?
They look nice.
Yeah. Really cool, I thought.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, what percentage of weddings in China? Because she was talking about how the whole wedding is going to be themed around, like, one of the dynasty eras.
The Tang Dynasty.
Yeah, and she wants people to feel like they were, like, transported back in time. And I wonder, like, how many Chinese weddings, like normal Chinese weddings where it's just two people from China, not like an American. Like, do they wear that crazy traditional, not crazy, sorry.
Extravagant?
Yeah, do they wear those like super traditional Chinese outfits?
Yeah, no, because they were
modernized?
They were going through the store.
And there was like a gowns section.
They had but they also had a lot of red.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
like, and I know China's, flag color is red.
Yeah, I think they wear white to funerals, red to weddings.
Oh, interesting.
So like, even if it is like a normal gown, it would be red. But I do like, I just.
Yeah, I wonder.
Things that I think about. When they were pulling out of the garage, and she has some like questionable little turn. She's like, "My driving's sometimes bad." And is he going to be able to drive in China? Do you think? Have they?
They haven't talked about it, but I would assume at some point, maybe. I don't know. Probably has to get. I mean, if he's going to live there, he's going to have to get a driver's license.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's also going to have to learn to speak the language, I would think.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Seems like a really hard language to learn.
Yes.
So we get a little bit of detail about the wedding. There's only going to be 30 people, which, like, based on the outfits and the house, I was thinking maybe she was going to, like, when he was like, how many people are coming?
200-300.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. She was going to have, like, a big wedding, especially because she's, like, a big business owner. And I wondered if it would almost be, like, kind of a marketing, because she does, like, beauty, skincare.
Or at least have all of your employees come.
Yeah, I was just...
Clients?
Yeah, like high-profile clients is sort of what I thought.
Yeah,
almost turn it into, like, a launch party or
right.
something,
But, I mean, it does, like, I don't know. It's hard to say because she keeps saying she has no money.
Yeah.
He doesn't know, Josh,
right.
whether she actually has no money or if she just doesn't have a lot of money.
Right.
But it seems unclear. And they're already married.
Yes,
but he doesn't have access to her bank accounts.
Right.
And he probably wouldn't even be able to tell, even if he did, how much money she had.
Because it would be in a different currency?
Yeah. Well, and in Chinese, Mandarin.
Oh, yeah.
Different language.
Right,
the
totally.
whole thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of barriers to really knowing exactly how much money she has or doesn't have.
Yeah.
And then there was also, it was interesting the difference in like who wanted to actually have the big traditional wedding, because he said that she wanted it.
Right, and she was like, no, you said you wanted this.
Okay, honey.
Well, I felt like kind of the conversation listening to that conversation, what my understanding of it was probably like, he was like, oh, it would be fun to have like a really traditional, and she was like, he says he wants it.
Right.
And then like really runs with it. So that way she can be like, no, it was your idea. And he's like, well, I was sort of just spitballing, So I can sort of imagine that happening, especially with her, because she does seem to take things literally and to the extreme.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, so.
We'll have to see. I mean.
I'm excited to see the wedding, though.
Are you?
I think it's going to be beautiful. They've obviously, because they do, even though they're both maybe not with a ton of money, they do upgrade to the more expensive.
Yeah, and he said he'd pay for it.
He'd pay the difference.
Which I can imagine he doesn't even know.
He has no idea how much that upgrade is going to be by the time he agrees to it.
Right.
But I have a feeling the wedding is going to be nice, because it seems like they both have those champagne tastes.
Yes.
With potentially no budget. Maxed out credit card budget.
Potentially, yeah, who knows?
Yeah, so I'm excited to see the wedding, though.
Okay.
Because sometimes on the show, the weddings are sort of like a letdown, Like...
I guess that's just not something that I look for.
Well, we had a nice wedding, but like, remember...
Yeah, no, I liked our wedding. I just don't look at other people's weddings. And
Pedro and Chantel's wedding, where they're just like in the gazebo and they weren't even sure if like the fam was gonna come. Like, whose wedding were we just at? Where he was like super late. The 90-day fiancé UK couple.
Oh, with the Turkish, was it Turkey?
No, he's like Dominican maybe.
Oh, Johan?
Johan, yeah. Their wedding, it was like they went to like an office building.
Yeah. Did they get married?
Yeah, I remember she had on that.
Well, I remember she had on the dress. I don't remember if they actually got married or not.
Polyester. It was so that's what I'm saying, though. Like, lots of times the dresses are sort of budget dresses. We haven't seen any, like, really cool weddings. And I would think since this is a show about getting married, we might see some nicer weddings.
I guess that's not a part of this that I
care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Well,
I liked our wedding.
Yeah. Well,
that's the only wedding that matters to me.
Yeah. Right. Well, but this is a show about.
But it's not about the wedding.
It's about the marriages.
It's about,
or the relationships.
Yeah.
About the family. Who knows? Okay.
The drama.
So then we head over to Tatha. We watch her like scootering around town being like, hey. She was like...
She seems way happier.
Way happier. She is happy to be home, which is... It's nice to see.
But these people make the stupidest decisions. The stupidest decisions.
Yeah, and you're talking about how she hasn't told her family that they're moving.
Right. So she's been there for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And she has not told them that James is moving there.
Mm-hmm.
She has not told them that they plan to work for their parents.
And live with their parents.
And she has not told them that they're planning on living with their parents.
Yeah, right.
And she tells her sister the day before James shows up.
Yeah, because her sister's like, how long is James staying for? And she's like, he's staying.
Right.
And she's like, no. The sister is like, big no, full stop. And when she's like, well, yes. She's like, well, at least then rent an apartment. And Tatha's like, no. It's just like, oh gosh.
And it's just like, so it's just questionable decision making at best. If not, it's just like so dumb.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Because like, and it's funny because she was like, I hope it goes better than James telling his parents. And it's like, well, you're doing
the same thing.
But even worse, like the day before he's coming and hey, so my husband's here. We're gonna live here now with you.
Right. Yeah, and we also get the tidbit that she's the youngest of 6 kids. So we were wondering if like that's maybe what's
like favorite child, spoiled child syndrome.
Yeah, like always gets what she wants, so she just expects this to be fine, even though this is obviously going to be a huge change and like probably a fairly large inconvenience to them. Because I can't imagine that they have this like big house with like a lot of spare space and bedrooms and budget.
Well, she said 7 people live there.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, that's so many people. So now it's going to be 9?
And a white guy. I mean, come on. Nobody likes white guys.
Yeah. And like how many bedrooms could 9 people possibly be living in?
I don't know. But it's also like, so she hasn't been working at the banana chip factory
either.
And so it's like...
She was helping her sister sell fruit ice. Just...
Flavor ice. Yeah.
Flavor ice. Just weird.
It's like, why have this plan to move there and not tell your parents about this plan until the day before?
Yeah, especially since the plan is to move with them, work for them. It's super odd.
You think you want them in on the plan.
Yeah. And right. And there's just it's a whole weird situation. Ready? Okay, and then our last scene of the episode is back with Statler, who is now at the airport or being taken to the airport. And this is actually when she says, like, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, had a panic attack, not really ready to leave my hermit cave.
Girl, same.
Yeah. So she's gotten a ride to the airport with her friend, and her friend now gives her the pep talk that we were probably looking for yesterday. Yeah. So at least she is able to pull the support out.
But it's also, like, it's so, like, what a wild swing from, like, literally one end where she's like, Dempsey is using you for your money. Yeah. And then back to, like, it's going to be great.
Right, she calls it the adventure of a lifetime. And it's like she's maybe, like, she woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning being like, oh my God, I can't believe I said all that stuff. Yeah. That's the stuff that's supposed to stay up here.
Right. And, like, there always is something to friends, like, being truthful and, like, speaking the truth.
Yeah.
But if it's the day before they're going, like we talked about before, where it's like instead of being the one who's pushing that person away, sometimes you got to be the support system. Mm-hmm. So you let them know, like, listen, if it doesn't work out, you call me. You can come stay with me. Mm-hmm. You got a place to stay, always, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have to be doom and gloom the day before they leave. That's not what she needed.
Right. So This is an interesting episode. The James and Tatha stuff has really got me.
They started off so well.
I know.
But they seem so dumb.
I almost wonder if they lied on their application to the show, and now they're just like, oh shoot, we
Actually have to move?
We actually have to move, right? Like
no, I don't.
No,
she
you don't
seems
get
like
that.
she really wants to move.
Yeah. Oh,
and she is happy.
Right. And
in
and she
Indonesia.
says that her like throat issue has been resolved with herbal teas, so that's good. Happy for
That's
her.
good.
Yeah. But
They always talk about, if you want good medical care, you go to Indonesia. So.
But that was the only thought I had. Like, I wondered if there was actually never a plan to move. And they were just, like, kind of applying to be on the show. And when they got cast, it was like,
Oh, shoot.
oh shoot, now we need to move. Or at least pretend like we're going to move.
I don't get that.
No.
No.
Okay.
But, I mean, I've been wrong once before, so.
Yeah. Just all the people in general who apply to be on these shows and like really put themselves out there to such a wide audience and receive so much like feedback, criticism from like the internet at large.
But we're the internet at very small. Minuscule at this point.
Yeah. All right, so that was the end of the episode.
Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Catch us on Instagram and YouTube at Hitched Reality. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.